Hey crafters, welcome to part two of the Dino Roast craft. My daughter won't be hosting this one. She had to go back to work and home. So I miss you, Dana. Now, today we're going to show you how to paint it up and finish up the Dino Roast fire pit. So let's go to the table and we'll finish that up. So here's our fire pit all painted up with flat black, and I'm going to use a dark brown. And you can really use any dark brown. I'm just going to cover this up, the whole thing up with the dark brown. So right out there, I'll fill my lid back up and just paint that up. The lid net technique is a great way to not have to use a palette. So that's all finished. I've got that all done. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the dino. It's been spray painted flat black, and I'm just going to paint it brown. Just watered down dark brown. And now here's my fire pit. Now I covered up the fire with a piece of tape so it wouldn't get black on it, but the rest has been painted black. So I'm going to use a yellow here, and it's going to use it thicker on the logs and then a little bit lighter on the fire itself. I want it to be kind of translucent. Okay, there we go. But you want enough yellow on the logs for it to look nice and bright. Alright, so there's with the light on, you can see it shining through that yellow there. Okay, now for the next phase I'm going to use my bright orange and red, and this is going to give it some, more appearance of fire. So I'm going to dab some yellow or some orange on there, and then the same with the red. I'll just dab some on there to make it look like a roaring fire. A little bit on the fire itself, and looking good. Here, let's turn that on. Yep, we can still see the light shining through, so mission accomplished. Looking good. Alright, so here's my fire pit. It's dry. Now I'm going to use a gray, and I'm going to paint the stones. I'm doing a little wet on there, and I'm going to use a burnt sienna and a tan to kind of give the stones some variation in color. And we'll let those dry up. Now I'm going to use another lighter brown to accent the land area around the fire pit itself. So I'll give a nice variation in color. And the critter I'm going to paint, the dino, I'm going to paint the skewer first. So lighter brown, a little bit of a tan there, and I'll paint the posts the same color. So we got a nice little variation on the posts and the skewer itself. So now that's dried up, and I'm going to use a light gray on the stones to kind of make them pop out a little better. It gives a nice highlight on there. I'm also going to use some yellow, and it'll kind of look like the fire is glowing. Now it looks very bright right now, but this is going to dull up. And so it won't be nearly as bright when it dries. Okay, now I'm going to use like a coffee, and I'm going to paint this guy. So I'll paint his shell, and then I'm going to use a bone and paint the edges of the shell. Okay, so a little bit on top too. And I'm going to use a burnt sienna and paint the critter. So I'll just paint him up, paint his underside. Nice color there. Now I'm going to use some black, and I'm going to do, it's almost like a reverse highlight, like you're painting the top of the fire, and that gives it, looks like it's some ash. Now I'm going to paint a little bit of black on the critter like it's barbecuing. And I'm not painting this too dark. It's pretty wet down, but there we go. Okay, so now I've got the fire pit. I'm going to paint a little bit of black on the rocks too, and just kind of go over the edge. It's fairly white, or I'm sorry, fairly wet. So I'm going to paint over those rocks. A little bit of charcoal look. Okay, I'll let that dry up. Now remember, that's not too dark. I'm not painting them too black. Just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to use this glue to the go-to glue to glue my dino on. Okay, and I'll smooth it out and let that dry up. Now I'm going to paint a little more highlight on the rocks with the yellow. And like I say, this will kind of darken up when it dries. So there we go. We're all set. Ready to assemble this and look at it. Here we go. We have our fire and our adventurers coming in. You can see them for scale. Looking really good. So let me give you a closer look at this. See, this just pops right off. And so you can take the fire out and replace it if you need to. And I think the fire came out really great. I also did the sides to kind of camouflage it, if you could see inside the pit a little bit. And there you go. The fire looks really great. It's really nice there. Okay, so let me give you a closer look. So I did a little bit of yellow around the stones to make it look like it was glowing. You can see the toilet paper under there. Now I did attach the dinosaur because it was top heavy, but a thing you could do is make this into a multi-purpose piece like a well, or replace the dino with other forms of meat. So that's kind of nice, and I think it looks great. Hey crafters, I hope you liked the vid. If you did, make sure to give old Scotty a like. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. And also I want to say, share these videos. Really, it's word of mouth that gets this stuff out. So, you know, share on Facebook and other forms of social media. That'd be great. And until next time, go forth and craft.
Go away. Roderick enjoying his dinosaur.